Hey, how's it going? I have some cards to read to you, and I can't decide if I want to read my notes or just talk about it. Well, I'm going to be talking either way. That's that's part of it. There they are. Okay, so the thing that I wanted to talk about today is it's like a bunch of stuff that I was already sort of thinking about anyway. And just, it just, they were just sort of like random ideas that kind of were relatable to each other, but not necessarily. And just like unformed ideas, but it seemed like they all kind of had to do with each other. So I saw a few different videos today that really well, okay, I'll just tell you what they were, since I can't seem to articulate what I want to say else about them. So the first one was, I never saw this channel before on YouTube, and it was, I don't even remember the title, so I'm sure it's in my history, so I plan to link it. Oh, I should write that down. But it was a guy that had this whole theory of how in the Family Guy animated show universe, where Stewie is a super intelligent baby and the dog can talk, and well, other improbable things go on, like the infant or whatever, the baby made a time machine and things like that. Hold on a second. I'm just writing here a note to myself to link the one I'm trying to tell you about and another two that I want to also tell you about. So this guy's premise was Stewie was God and that it's involved. But if you know, like, those shows, like, I've seen many of them over and over, completely willingly and on purpose. So if you're like me, then you will know the episode when Stewie and Brian go on the time machine and they end up in a void space where there's nothing, and then they start doing stuff and they create the Big Bang. So that was the guy's, like, premise, was that paradoxically Stewie and Brian were there at the beginning of everything, and everything was the way it was because basically that's because Stewie wanted it that way. I may be straying from the purest sense of what the thing was trying to say, but I'm going to link it so you can decide for yourself. But I just liked the idea of, I can't quite remember if his theory extended beyond the universe of the show and like out into the universe that presumably created it. Except, did it? Or was this all a Stewie thing? I may have stopped listening closely at some point, but, excuse me. I just like blacked out ideas like that and just sort of turning things that are normal kind of inside out. And then I saw another one, and this one was very much more like spiritual, esoteric, woo-woo. Well, I don't know. it was like a sort of a along the lines of alchemy and that sort of genre of that stuff, because it's based on really old or ancient ideas, and also with manifestation, which, like, I guess I'm just going to talk about it and not torture you with notes, but I have to look. I already forgot what I was going to say in 2 seconds. Oh, okay, so it talks about manifestation, and I kind of had the reaction, and I have been lately, it's just the thing that I have going on, I guess, but like all of the manifestation everywhere is just, I guess, getting on my nerves, if you can get my drift. And it's just like when it's election time and there's just so many political ads that you just want to, like, well, turn everything off basically, because you kind of have to get away from them. And that was the feeling I felt like in the moment. I was like, don't. So I love how right when I'm trying to concentrate, I can't. Oh, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yes. And the reason why I think it kind of bothers me is because it's so frantic because of, I think, this other thing that really bothers me. And it is just like, the pursuit of wealth. Oops, almost to, like, am I running into stuff actually? At the cost of everything else, like, just like the pursuit of the acquisition of it and everything that goes along with it. And it made me, remember when I wanted to be wealthy too. I wanted to be wealthy and famous. Now I don't want either, because they just seem like a pain, and I wouldn't mind having more money, but I just want what I need. I don't want to go crazy. So, and I basically already have that. So but it talked about that a little bit in a way, but it went further in a way that I didn't expect, and I should have. It's kind of obvious, but it started talking about manifestation, like, on a deeper level, and going beyond the doing it because you want something or whatever, or you need it, but just more with the idea of being conscious of where you are, like what your vibration needs to be in that place in the first place. And then sort of when you're immersed in it, you're immersed in something, you're immersed in the field, and it becomes effortless, kind of like you don't necessarily have to articulate it or act it out. It's just sort of like your vibration conveys what you need to, like, the rest of the surrounding field, and in that way you manifest stuff. But it's totally like a different way of thinking about it than I normally had been, and I have been feeling for a little while like they're like looking at stuff and going, okay, like I need like to move to the next level. Like everything I was watching is like, okay, I have got that part down. Like I need some, I don't know, I said it, I need some new stuff. So this appeared, just to myself. I wasn't all announcing it to the world or anything, but that was the feeling. I was just bored, I guess. And then this video appeared, and they spoke of the Matrix. They used a different name to describe it in the space that I was just talking about, where you can expand even more into the experience, or into just like feeling it more than action. I think I already said that. And whatever it is, like, I feel like we are manifesting all the time, and it only becomes like a thing when it's something we're all hot and bothered about, like getting rich, and because then you get the girlies, and then you get the labels, and then you get, you know, and then it's a competitive thing. And I don't want to be competitive, and yet sometimes I will find myself like almost wanting to get sucked into that, or wanting to participate and going, I don't want to get sucked into that, because I just don't. So that was good. I mean, I needed to have some expansion myself about anything. Just tell me something new and different. And then another one came after that, and I don't know now. I don't think I can remember the exact details of that either, but that one also was like made an impression on me, and I can't even remember the title now. Sorry. I'll find it in my history, and if I don't, I couldn't. Excuse me, or else I fell asleep. I don't know. Sometimes I just forget. So we're on time here. Oh, really well. We have a drink here, and I will consult my notes real quick. See what I'm missing. Sorry for the dead air. I'm just looking, and I think what I'm looking for is not even there in my notes, but I know there was more to it, so I don't know. I think like the big thing that I just wanted to get across, what I was just talking about, is that I think there's a fixation with getting money and like using manifestation to get it, and it's not discouraged, you know. I'm the one, I said in the first place, I'm the one that has the issue with it, obviously. But it was just good to know that, or be reminded, or whatever it is, that there's more to life than that. I mean, oh, okay, there was something else I wanted to talk about. I sort of talked about it in my last video a little bit, but it has to do with like the vibration part, that like I have what I need, but I could use more, and that's, you know, that has to do with me and my vibration. I could change it, and then I could have, you know, I don't know, riches, I guess, but I have abundance already. Like, I'm very fortunate. If I could look not too far away, I'm fortunate. So it's not that important to get more. I mean, I can say that right now. Things could change. I'm also aware of that, but I ain't trying to manifest that. But you could want to manifest peace and love in the world, and no war. And I'm not saying I don't want those things, but here's what I get hot and bothered about is I want to raise my vibration as high as possible, and apparently that's not good to do all the time, like to try and just maintain it all the time. Like, you gotta, I don't know, ebb and flow, I guess. But okay, so the last video, now I remember, that I watched was about 2 cases of people with very high vibrations, and one guy was from Mexico, and he had some kind of experience, and I don't know if he had anything going on, like extrasensory or whatever, prior to the incident, but afterwards he had like a really high vibration. For some reason, he and the other person, I think it was a woman, and I don't think it was like in the same time periods, the 2 people. I think she was from like the past and also another country. And anyway, they both were able, because of their high vibration that was measured, that they could like penetrate matter, like walk through walls, and then that was, I think they could both do that. And then I think that was like the guy's thing, and then the woman, again, my attention may have wandered, but she could do something else of her own. But they could both do this, whatever they were, both of those things, because when you are in the high vibration, and when you're able to attain that state, you have ascended some levels from, well, like, that's, I think, what I was recalling about the guy. Like, I don't think he started off at quite this ability level, you know, until after whatever happened to him. So, or maybe he did it intentionally. Somebody did, maybe, because that seems to be what I'm remembering. But the point was, we all could do that. Like, just, not just, because I hate when people are all, why don't you just lose weight? Why don't you just keep your comments to yourself? Because just implies that you're not doing it, and it personally offends them. Like, why don't you just do it? Why are you buying my clothes? Get out of here. And not only that, if it were that easy, I wouldn't be overweight. So, there's a little window for you. What was I talking about? So that was the thread, I think, that connected the second 2 for me, was that because of their vibration, they were able to manifest certain things. And then in the one before that, was like, to manifest certain things, you got to be in this vibration, and then you can even do more than just like get a thing or get stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, it is equally spiritual, I think, to pursue, like, in your manifest menu, you know, world peace. Or you could also want to go another way, like me, and get inside molecules and atoms or something. But I don't think that one makes the other, like, either. I don't really think that one is less of a spiritual thing than the other, because they both are, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a scientist. I don't have high math degrees or anything. I have no degrees like that. I don't have stuff like that. But I just have been, I'm interested in it, and I have been for a long time, so I kind of get the concepts and stuff. And when you get into this, like, really strange science and physics, it starts, like, making sense with this, like, even Bible stuff, like spiritual stuff. And it's a weird thing. Like, that's the best I'm gonna do, trying to explain my theory about that. But that is what I think happens. Okay, let me talk about cards. So that I had seen all of that I just talked about and wrote the thing, and so worked it through my filter, and then I pulled the cards before, I think. Doesn't matter, here's what they say. I pulled the number 44 card, an 8. I'm just laughing because I don't think that my numbers thing did anything for anybody yesterday, or maybe any time. I don't know. I was amused. I still am. So anyway, 44 card. You add the 4s, it's an 8. Power symbol, power number, infinity. Also, if you make it horizontal, the 8, and fours mean stuff good too. So 4 is like, just as a single 4 represents like other than like the numbers, the numeral stuff, you know, like a foundation, like a 4 corners. That's what always starts a building. And the 2 of them, I don't know, I got upstairs and downstairs. So there you go. Here, the card is Perfect Storm, and the subtitle is The Courage to Step into Life. You know, I guess that's what it feels like there's a storm when you want to make a change, you know, or something occurs to you, like you you have an awakening or like super light bulb moment, and your mind is just blown, you know. Like, here I saw this other thing earlier and I didn't completely watch it, and I'm gonna go back to it because it was this older guy, and he was like saying that, like, he basically just cottoned on to the fact that like the media is run by like the corporations, and the government is run by the corporations and the media, and then the military and the intelligence agencies are, let me put it this way, all of it is, nothing is what it appears to be. And then when you find out, like, I mean, I guess it might disable you in some ways if you just believed everything and you weren't like me and weren't like rebellious and suspicious and noticed like contradictions and, hey, why is that? And was a pain in the butt, as I still get that, like, you're a pain in the butt thing today. Yay. But also, I mean, if you are having the courage, for instance, to answer the call to sort of not be, as this guy said when he like finally figured this out, because this was like a scientist or something like that, some like accredited person, and he's like, I can't believe I was so bloody dumb, and I just didn't even see it, and it was right in front of me. And I can see how, like, if you're an older person and you just like have told the line the whole way, and yes sir, and how high, and the whole deal, and didn't really question it, and then to find out, wait, I've been working for this like facade the whole time. Yeah, how would you feel? You know, that would be like just devastating, you know, and yet you have to go on. So I don't know why I guess it's almost like I started out talking about, like, this person is like, well, life is nothing that I thought it was. Now I'm gonna go live in a monastery. someone might have that reaction, you know. Or they might take a different spiritual route and decide to become educated on what even more there is, you know, and they might start talking about wanting to like be able to put their hand in the table in front of them and then pull it out and put it in and put it out and just mess with the, you know, physical structure of the things. Just tune your vibration to whatever the one is in the table that'll let you stick your hand in it, or, you know, close enough. Talking about that for now. So the next card, number 13, 3 and 1, another 4. So there's 3 4s that I'm getting here. And the card is Dream Thief, refusal of the call. Interesting. A couple of birds here, sort of. It kind of almost looks like a griffon, but you don't usually see them in a flapping or like moving position, and this guy looks like it is. Like, it looks like it's about to pounce. It actually looks kind of nightmarish. Kind of. Anyway, Dream Thief is the card, and yeah, the subtitle is Refusal of the Call. Is this guy like, don't refuse the call or I'll haunt your life, I'll haunt your dreams. Usually, if it's a situation like that, it's something that you desperately need to wake up and attend to. Like, if you're having nightmares about something in your life, if that's happening and you're not, the next thing is you're gonna start getting like sick, physically ill, because you're denying something that your body and your soul, I guess, your senses are trying to make you aware of. That's, you know, important. So you need to like start paying attention to that. And in a way, it's like, if it's at that point and you know all about it, you're paying plenty of attention to it, and that's the problem. Like, you're stuck and you're not doing anything. So I'm maybe making it sound more dire than it need be, but I don't know. Maybe it need be. The next card I pulled was number 60. Watchers, and the subtitle is Transpersonal. I'm gonna give you a look at this because it's got a lot going on. I always get kind of lost in the details and trying to figure out, is it one thing? Is it 3 things? Is it a couple of things sitting on each other? Is it a chair? Is it a statue? Is it a person sitting in a chair that turned into stone? I have questions. Interesting. I'm getting like, I don't know if it's like this all the time. I don't recall talking about a crocodile being on top of it, but it looks like a crocodile's head up there. You know, earlier I saw just briefly something about why were there animal heads on the gods in Egypt, and I associate Egypt with crocodiles because they have them there, and I'm sure there was something to do with, I don't remember a crocodile head god like a Ra or Bastet, the cat head god. There's other ones, you know, maybe I'm missing on that one, but also, whatever is happening behind this thing here. See, here's the croc I think I'm looking at. Like, there's the head, and then it's got like the long snout and the open mouth down here. And then for some reason it's got like a solar flare happening behind it, and there's a lot of sun stuff in Egypt, and this is what I'm gonna go sunrise. I don't know why that is happening. Oh, and look, and there's like a halo like you would expect around a bright sun. I don't know if that's sun. Is that like some sort of energy blast? Ugh, looks odd. I'm not sure what this is telling me, and whenever I see the transpersonal, I always forget what it means. I'm gonna actually maybe come back to this. The one after that is the number 18 card, 9, if you add the 8 and the 1, and it's Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. Oh, and this card I always think has something Egyptian going on with it too, but not this time. This time it just looks like a regular old feather. I mean, I've never seen one on a bird that looks like that in that particular spot, but it just looks regular bird today. Mr. Fancy Pants with his... It's a very folksy jewelry. It's not like New York City, which is... That works for me. You know, it has like shells, and it's some type of twine stringing these little ornaments together. I mean, but it looks like something handmade. So, Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. Obviously, it's like a flight reference. So, I'm seeing that it's looking down on what would be like wild habitat for an eagle, because this looks like an eagle to me. And I'm just getting that it's like the hunting for salmon. Like it has to, like, or not like it has to go above to, like, separate itself from noise and confusion to find some sort of, you know, thing that it's hunting, you know, for its food. But, you know, we're being metaphorical here, so, you know, something is being searched for. And for this bird, if it were hunting, I would say it's salmon, which, you know, people and animals prize it. It would be a prize worth locating. This is watching from up above. Like, this also looks situated high, like the bird, and it's watching us. Kind of like watching like Santa Claus for who's doing what, but looking for people that have stood out and answered the call. Doing well, way back for me. So 37, it's 10, 1 actually. And the card is me. I always do that for my whole life. Magician's Sword. Confidence in your magic. It's very beautiful. The sword, it's not on fire. Like, it's not, you know, incendiary flames, but it is definitely, like, just blasted with some sort of golden light energy, which almost like a like a lightsaber. Like exactly a light, like it literally is a lightsaber. So confidence in your magic. Today something else said, like, just came right out and said it. Trust your intuition. So that's two sources I'm hearing saying that. Not just to me, although it is good to hear, because sometimes I get, self-conscious, or, I don't know, I'm just not so practiced at doing this that I'm just super confident at it. And it's not just at this, it's just like whatever sort of gifts and abilities I have, I'm sort of started paying attention to what was happening later, so I'm not really in full faculty with that either. I have two more cards, or three, sorry, and they are actual tarot cards this time. These other cards were Shaman's Dream Oracle cards, and so these are the Kawaii cat. What are they called? Kawaii Cat Tarot. And another thing that I got in one of my videos today was just out the presence of cats everywhere, which is sort of my life every day. But they seem to be talking about these really, like how they protect you from evil spirits and negative energies, like in your home, and they have like a mythology that they can like astral travel when they sleep, and there's like all this witchy mystical stuff going on, like, if they show up, they're there to protect you like a stray. So first one I pulled was the Justice card. It's number 9. That's 9, right? X1. I'm pretty sure it is. And I pulled this and I was like, justice for what? For who? And it was like, it took me back to the second video where the lattice lady was talking about once you're in the vibration of manifestation, you can enhance it and go more with it. And also I just felt like it was like, like I said, I felt stale. I was like, well, there's got to be like a next step. Like I felt like I didn't know where to go. It was like you're going up some steps and then you get to the top and it's like, that's it. There's nothing here though. And then all of a sudden there's more steps, which that makes sense. That's kind of what I was looking for. That makes sense. And then so many little pieces of information showed up today, but that one where it sort of took me out of that space a little bit, where I'm all like, I don't like what capitalism does to us and makes us treat each other in these terrible ways. And that's part of my thing with the manifestation. Like, God, stop! It's like it makes me think of greed, and there's plenty of channels that are like, here, this is how you get money. And now they're starting to say it's okay to like want money. It's okay to have money. You can be spiritual and be rich. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. That is not my concern about being rich, though. It's when I say I don't want to be bothered, it's like, when you have money, what happens? People start coming out of the woodwork. They want it. There's more like tax stuff to deal with, and that sounds like a pain. And then you have to like buy crap to justify having the money, and that all comes with stuff. And it's just like, oh man, that just all sounds like such a pain. And I feel like I dodged a bullet. But like I said, there's a lot of videos out there now I'm noticing, because maybe I'm not the only one that feels that way about it. But so anyway, not to get too far off what I was saying, the manifesting for that, it, you know, there's other things that you could manifest. I'm not going to say it all again. The next card I pulled was, oh, okay, 11. It's 11. Aw, 11. Come on. 15, the devil. The devil? I heard it come out like that. Oh, you're so fierce. Look at that. So, this, I guess, is what I was just talking about. Like that wanting that money so much, like beyond sensibility. And then all of the, like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff that, and, you know, like, I'm just thinking drugs could come into the picture. Drug people, like, knowing, hey, there's somebody over here with money, you know. It's like, you get all kinds of attractions. You will attract all kinds of stuff that you don't really want. Oh, stalkers. Just fun. So, I don't know, maybe I'm not wrong about the wanting, really, anything too much is you're gonna end up in problems. So, 18, the moon. A. So, this usually indicates some, oh my goodness. Okay, so this usually indicates some sort of, Buffer came back and ran away. Are you okay? Come here, honey. Oh, he took it the wrong way. Like, you're not seeing things quite as clearly as you might if you were in like full daylight. Some sides of what you are interacting with might not be visible to you, or it might indicate someone that you're dealing with not wanting you to see certain sides of them, and just keeping things like unclear and sort of questionable. And for some reason it made me think of this, I don't think it was my eyesight, this phenomenon that I saw when I was meditating today in the clouds. They were just kind of drifting by, and there were shapes and whatever, and I was looking at them, and then I realized there was this one area that I wanted to look at, that when I looked at it, it gave me a little bit of a headache, and it was kind of foggy, and it was, I guess, a little misty, but I don't know, not really. It was in the 70s, and I don't know, it's hard to describe, but there was like a cloudy area right in the sun, next to the sun, in the vicinity of the sun, that I was trying to look at, and there's other areas like it, like just white puffy clouds you couldn't see through, and sort of misty tendril things around the edges of the clouds. But that one area, I kept trying to look at it, and it was like giving me a headache, and I was like, what's up with that? So I'm trying to look at other places in the sky, and then there's just that one spot that's fuzzy, not even just that clouds blocking it, it was like out of focus. That's what I'm trying to say. And I didn't understand that. What is up with that? I don't know if I will know, but that's never happened to me before. And it's the kind of headache you get when you put on like somebody else's glasses, and they're like their prescription is a lot stronger than yours, and then you take them off and you feel like you have brain damage. That's kind of what this felt like. So I'm in the dark about that, but it was like in the dark, don't know what the heck's going on completely, but it was also in broad daylight, so I'm just not sure what to think about that. Love the mystery though, I guess. And I think this card is taking me back to what I was saying what I was feeling like earlier about feeling stale and wanting to go to a next step. It was like I'm not finding new things to stimulate me. Like it's like I've already heard these things before. I'm ready to know like what the next thing is, but I can't yet because it's not done yet. I guess I don't know how else to describe what I feel like that is. There's a fly. It's gonna distract me, but doesn't matter. I'm done. I said everything I wanted to say, I think. Thank you. Good night.